something for my godson Elijah and a little girl named Corinne.
20% of African Americans report that they are depressed each year. Also, 15.9 African Americans are uninsured compared to 11.1 whites. Also, 60% of prisons are African Americans. Even though this seems like a lot of information, this all has to do with the black community with depression. Let's go talk to Dwayne High over at High School Ministries at Mount Zion Baptist Church, one of the largest black community churches in Nashville.
The sweeter the juice, I say the darker the flesh, and the deeper the roots, I give a holler to my...
Dwayne High, overseer of High School Ministries at Mount Zion Baptist Church. And the topic today is African American children and depression. And Dwayne, I have a question. What is depression to you, and why do you feel African American kids are always depressed?
Depression to me is a mental illness, and I think that we have to treat it as such. It is an illness that causes people, regardless of race and regardless of age, causes them to fall into slumps where they are unable to enjoy the quality of life, unable to perform normal tasks and activities. It is something that we overlook, but it's actually the most dominant mental illness that there is. Why do we have depression in our African American youth? I think there's a number of variables that go into it, but I think that the root of it most of the time starts in the homes. We do not, as African Americans, talk enough about mental illness in our home settings, in our family settings. So there could be a number of mental illnesses that are present, that are undiagnosed and unconfronted, and those type of things grow and they manifest. So when we look at the home, and just take for example, you have a family where the mother may suffer from acute depression. The father may suffer from some type of strain as well as far as mental illness, but they've never been checked, they've never been diagnosed, they've never seen any counselor, things of that sort. Then mental illness becomes the culture and the nature of which this child is raised up in.
What do you feel the church can do better to try to bridge that gap between the child and the mental illness and the church?
Well, the Bible says faith without works is dead, which basically means we can pray, but if we do nothing, it still means nothing, right? So I think what we do as it pertains to depression and as it pertains to the church addressing depression, we have to accept that depression is a real thing and that you can be saved and depressed. As a matter of fact, I remember the prophet Isaiah, no it's not, the prophet Elijah sat up on the juniper tree and told God he wants to die. You know, he was ready to die. And the Bible says that the Lord came to him, and making the story short, Elisha was found maybe a few verses later, which basically means that sometimes when we find ourselves in a depressed state, we need somebody. And I think the church should do a better job of making sure that yes, we do pray for people, yes, we do give people adequate scriptures, but then yes, there is professional help for that child, for that person who's struggling with depression, and it's not against God to want professional help. So I think the church has to address not just depression, but the stigma of pray and don't do nothing else.
So what do you think the black culture, and specifically black parents, can do?
Educate themselves. Educate themselves. One of the things that I preach and teach wherever I go is that generally you have a child who lives with strangers down the hall. And that basically means that the child doesn't know the parent and the parent really doesn't know the child, but they've lived together for 18 years. So what you do is, number one, you got to educate yourself. Educate yourself on mental illness. You got to educate yourself on your own child. Being open and honest with your child about your struggles and your dispositions and your experience in life. And then that should foster a type of transparency. But I think the parent must value the child's reality, or at least their perception, and their perception is their reality. So for a child to say some very hard and difficult things, that's hard for a parent to hear. But a parent to be able to open and listen to that and value that and treat that as if it was a treasure rather than it was a disgusting thing to say. And I think that would open up our eyes and our ears to a lot more that we haven't experienced as parents and as leaders. But then I think we also have to educate ourselves as far as mental illness, as far as what our children are dealing with today, so that we know the signs. If a kid is locking themselves in their rooms, they don't want to do the activities they want to do, they don't just have an attitude problem. They're not just growing up and they in them teenage years and they just crazy. No, there may be something legitimately there. And it's our job as the parents and as the leaders to see it even when the child can't say it.
Wow. Wow, that's powerful. The perception that the African American teenager is solely responsible for the illness depression is false. African American families are more likely to go to church each Sunday than any other family in America. Historically, the African American church is known for being a safe haven for mental illness, homelessness, and people that are not well off. Less likely to die from suicide, but African American teens are more likely to attempt suicide than any other race in America. Also, only 2% of the American Psychological Association is represented by African Americans. You know what that means? That means most of our African American teenagers are not being looked at by African American doctors. I know you're wondering, Trey, what can we do about the situation? Number one, African American doctors have to look at our teenagers. Number two, the church has to find the situation vital, do something about it. And number three, our community leaders have to stand up and get active with our young African American teenagers. Let's get it done.
We at war. We at war with terrorism, racism, but most of all, we at war with ourselves. God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't